Hey, come here. You like pro wrestling? We got a little something for you. Two fans, 3,000 miles away. We each been watching for more than 30 years. Celebrating the art form, the action, the homoeroticism. We ain't rating matches. We ain't analyzing stories. We ain't experts. We just sit down, shut up, and mark out! Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out. I'm Blade Daily, and today I am joined by my good friend, Antoine Raphael. Antoine, how you doing, friend?
Hello, everybody. I'm doing well. Thank you.
You know who else is probably doing well is Ilya Dragunov. Because the streets are saying this guy's not under contract anymore to the WWE. He's a free man. He can sign anywhere.
No 90-day compete.
Ilya Dragunov is an incredible wrestler. I saw his work kind of at the very end of my time watching WWE.
The most exposure I had from him was NXT UK.
Mm-hmm.
That was when I was actually watching a little bit of the WWE product, but not either Raw or SmackDown. I was watching NXT and NXT UK. And seeing him was kind of a revelation, especially for his size.
Yeah, a guy his size who can, credibly beat a guy the size of Gunther is pretty incredible.
That's the if you guys had not watched that match, I would try to find it on YouTube. I think it was for the title. I think it was for the UK Championship.
Yeah. I think he's the guy who took it off Gunther. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Blairline agrees. In my honest opinion, Ilya was a top 3 men's in-ring wrestler in WWE next to Gable and Gunther. Yeah, I agree. He's as good as anybody they have. And so,
yes, he is.
I don't know what happened there, but to me, it's crazy. A lot of people obviously are naturally going to ask, about him landing in AEW. All In is only like 10 days away. So, I mean, conceivably, he could just be in that casino. He could be in that casino gauntlet or something, He could just run out during the casino gauntlet. And he's got a history in the UK.
Mm-hmm. And I also see the fact that he would fit great in New Japan in the junior division. He would fit great in the Hansai. It's not like they don't already have a European white wrestler in Hansai, because they already do. They got Bolton Oleg, so he would fit right in that kind of mode. Or even just if he was to sign just with Ring of Honor, I think he's just too good just to just sit out there with no job.
Well, and he won't. I mean, people are going to throw money at him. I mean, there's a lot of places that could use a guy like that. MLW, I'm not sure. I think he'll have more options, so I'm not sure if he would choose to go there. But, he could certainly fit in just fine there. But I agree. I think New Japan would be an awesome stop for him. And it's so beautiful that with that partnership, with that global partnership, he shows up in New Japan. That doesn't mean he's not going to show up in AEW at some time or show up in Ring of Honor.
Not at all.
Right. So there's so many potential landing spots for this guy. And I think he's just way too talented not to be,
I agree.
Featured prominently.
Dude, I am 5. Well, okay. I lost 1/4 inch with my car accident. So I am 5'8" and 3/4, and I weigh 160 pounds. Okay. I respect the hell out of Ilya Dragunov. People like him and Darby Allin, those are my boys, just because you're my size and you're out there doing that shit. So you get automatic love from me.
Yeah. Well, and if you've ever been next to Darby in person, like he's shorter than me, and I'm 5'7" and 3/4. So he's about my height or shorter, but he weighs about 40 pounds less than I do. So he's a skinny dude. Yeah. Blair Line says he could absolutely run Ring of Honor. I agree. You could have Ilya versus Eddie Kingston versus Lee
versus
Moriarty.
Lee Moriarty. That's the one I would die to see.
Yeah, versus Bandito. He could be the guy to dethrone Bandito. I would love that.
I would love somebody to.
We're going to get into that. We're going to be covering Death Before Dishonor, which, as we tape this, is live tomorrow. Today, as you're probably hearing this, or maybe it already happened at some other point in the past. But we'll be reviewing the card. It's actually not a loaded card in the sense that there's a million matches announced for it. But the ones that are announced should all be really good.
That's what I'm looking at. It's quality. It's a quality show.
I think there might be an upset in the works personally on that show. And I would love to see it. Benny the Bear in the chat. Hey, all, Dragunov versus Manders in WXW would slap. Literally, yes, they would definitely slap the shit out of each other. That is definitely true. My cousin, Tony Montoya. Darby Allin is small but powerful. He is. Small but mighty. Okay, well, it's an interesting thing that you brought up New Japan for Ilya Dragunov, because that's what we're talking about today, Antoine. On Sunday, I couldn't sleep. I was busy. I was mixing this show. And it was like 1:30 in the morning here. And I was like, oh, shit. What's probably on tonight? And I was lucky enough. I got to see it live, watched the G1 finals live.
No, it's hard, people.
Yeah, it's hard. But you know what? I was saying, earlier, if I could have picked the two guys that I would love to see in the finals of the G1, it would have been the exact two guys that they picked. Uemura and Oiwa. Just absolutely incredible talents. And it really feels like their time.
I agree. This was a different G1 going in. And I kept thinking, okay, are you going to make the champion that strong and make him be the one to win the G1 for the first time in 20 years as champion? Is it going to be Shingo's turn? Is it going to be Goto's turn? I was looking in other places, or are they going to commit to this youth movement, so to speak, especially when it didn't start well with Shota Umino gets hurt. He's out after the first match. I'm like, man,
got a concussion. Yeah.
So that's already, he's already behind the 8 ball and has to start all over. But at the very least, I had my eye on Yuya being in that final. I wasn't sure about Ryohei, but
I don't think anybody was.
I don't think anybody really was, because of his style of wrestling is underrated. But everybody kind of, we kind of forget he was part of TMDK. So guess who's getting trained by? Zack Sabre Jr.
Well, and he's so big. He's just like such a muscular guy that the style he wrestles almost doesn't match his body type to some degree. Where it's like, yeah. So he's a surprising wrestler, in my opinion.
Neither of them, to be honest. That was one of the biggest surprises of the G1 for me. Like at the halfway point, Zack Sabre Jr. is at the bottom.
Yeah. And
the best match I had seen was Yuya Uemura versus Zack Sabre Jr., and it was a pure technical match. And it was a damn masterpiece. And Ryohei Oiwa was doing sort of the same thing, except when, it came to Yudo Ice and, other individuals, but he was doing kind of the same thing. They have a very similar yet distinct thought of what they believe strong style is. And I feel like after watching them wrestle for a month, I know them now. Oh, they're here. They're no longer here.
Well, I think that when I saw Tanahashi retire, I was like, all right, they got no choice now. There's no one else in that old guard to pivot to anymore. Naito's gone. Okada's gone. Tanahashi's gone. I love Goto, but it's not a guy.
It's the most terrified I've been as a New Japan fan. I thought the thing was going to fall apart with as many people as that left, literally almost at the same time, within a year or two.
And, I think, in fairness, Gato waited way too long to really start building the youth movement, to start building the future of the main event for New Japan. We've talked about it here before, but, I just think, Naito, great as he is, obviously is very beat up physically, very. Goto is still good, but he's Goto. There was a reason that Goto didn't get to that top of the card for so long. Like
almost 20 years now, he finally had his championship reign.
He had his run, and it was cool. You got Zack Sabre, who I think is a legit top guy, of course you can put the belt on Zack. They did some experimenting with Callum Newman, and I didn't dislike it, but I was also like, you guys got to invest in your native stars. You got to invest in, so people who are going to have extra incentive to stick around,
That's exactly my point right there. Yeah. You invested in Callum Newman. Callum Newman literally has the potential to walk away at any point in time. Yep. He is British. You have to understand that. What are you doing? Just like if it was the United States, it's the same thing. AEW. Why are you not finding the talent right here locally?
Right.
Like Ring of Honor's here in Jacksonville. I would say, I expect some people locally just to at least be in some squash matches. And that is exactly what they need.
Having thought that for several years now, it's so refreshing to see, hey, they had the goods. They had the guys. Oiwa, as far back as June, this guy was fighting to get in the tournament. You know what I mean? He was in, he had to fight to get in. And he did.
Mm-hmm. He had to beat Taichi.
I don't think he was on anybody's list of guys who were going to win the tournament. Certainly.
He wasn't even on mine. He wasn't even on mine. I thought that he would finish high-ish.
You may remember me throwing a fucking fit like a little child after a tag match with the KO Bros versus Zack Sabre and Oiwa, because in this match, Oiwa and Sabre literally destroy Yudo Ice just over and over and over. Yudo Ice kicks out of like a million moves. Mm-hmm. And then he hulks up, hits Oiwa. I don't even remember what he hit him with, and just pins him. And I was pissed because I'm like, how are you pushing Oiwa up the card? You've
been pissed about that one for a while.
I was pissed. I'm still, somewhere inside of me, I am still pissed.
But at least they did not present Yuto Ice that way in the G1. I promise you, it didn't happen.
Yeah, and we will get to Oscar and Yudo Ice. Yeah, no shit. But yes, Blurry Line says the answer is simple. Shingo for a year-long title reign. Make it 3 years. I would love to see Shingo get a proper world title reign in front of fans, even if it's short.
I remember watching all of the New Japan shows during COVID, and it's going to lead to part of the discussion we'll probably have about Kenny and Will, about how different it really was watching New Japan at that time. Mm-hmm. They weren't allowed to say a word, breathe a word, nothing.
Right.
So it was the quietest thing. So all I could do was sit there and watch matches and go, okay, let me study what everybody is kind of doing. And during that time, they put the belt on. They put the IWGP World Heavyweight title, the World Heavyweight title. I liked it. I don't care if that had his little crazy wings. But as hard as he worked, especially during that time, and as hard as he's kind of worked to put over people like Yota Tsuji and be a part of LIJ without ever really having any sort of issues with Naito or anything, and he's so over. Just give him a couple months. That's all I want.
he was absolutely the right guy to be on top during the pandemic, even if not everybody was hurt. You know, I mean, because like Ibushi was the first world champion.
And he went down.
He injures his foot. Ospreay wrestles Shingo. Ospreay wins. Ospreay becomes the world champion. And then he has to drop out due to a neck thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like another month later. Then Okada, whose wife is having a baby, Okada and Shingo wrestle, and Shingo beats Okada. And Shingo holds the title down and holds the promotion on his shoulders for seven months or so.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
And I think the thing that bugged me was that the first minute they got that belt off him. You know, it was just like, look, I love Okada. He's great. But Shingo, a marquee win in front of some people, I think he deserved it.
I can feel where you're coming from, because it sure did seem like once the fans were let back in, well, take it off of them.
Yeah. And the minute that
it was very short-sighted.
I don't know if it's Gato. I don't know who it is, but somebody has this view of Shingo and he just can't get out from under it, you know, where it's like, they see him in that Chris Charlton's always talking about those BMF type wrestlers, you know, the never guys pretty much that he's always talking about. And that's clearly Shingo is kind of lumped in the Ishii category, you know, where it's like, you're an incredible worker, maybe one of the greatest of all time, but you're only going to go, you're never winning this title, you know?
You're only going this high.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of feels McMahonish, honestly. And I don't mean that as the burn that it sounds like, but Vince was famous for just looking at somebody and deciding what their ceiling was in like 15 seconds. You know?
That virtual ceiling that was already set before, you know.
Yep.
New Japan can do it. Yes, they do.
Yeah. It feels like New Japan's done that with Shingo, at least. And Goto for a long time, I would say, was the same, you know, where he had a ceiling over him. And I was shocked when I saw that he had won the world title. Because, I mean, I really thought he was never going to do it. We got some people agreeing with us in the chat here. Tino's pissed that Jake Lee beat Shingo. So am I. How do you feel about Jake Lee?
Oh, my God. That is, I'm glad you brought that up, brother, because that might have been my single worst match of the entire fucking tournament because of the way he pulled it off. And I understand he's a silent jester, or he's a smart bastard, or wherever you want to put him. But I'm at the, I don't know what I want to think about Jake Lee's stage, because he had some good wins. He beat Great Khan, his own team member, his own faction member. But then he does that with Shingo and with Goto, which was just embarrassing. I'm like, this is G1. You can't do stuff like that. So if he could get a little more serious, it would be nice. It really would. But I was more into the smart bastard than I am into the jester.
Yeah, I think the thing with Jake Lee is that he kind of hides behind this air of mystery about his character. But the more you see somebody, you need to feel like there's a progression happening. You know, I think WWE had this problem with Bray Wyatt, for instance, was like, they unveiled him as the cult guy, and that was really interesting. But after a while, all he did was just say cryptic shit and laugh. And you're like, okay, but who is Bray Wyatt? You know, like, who is this guy?
They weren't evolving. Yeah.
Right. And the story wasn't going anywhere. You know, it just kind of maxed out at like, hoo, this little kid's going to scare John Cena. And, you know, and that's the end of that. You know, so I remember when the Firefly Funhouse stuff started, I was like, how long till Vince ruins this? You know, like whatever.
I was riveted. Oh my God. Yeah. I was so riveted back then.
Yep.
You could hear the crowds just literally silent, just not silent because they were bored, silent because they were watching that entire thing. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, and they were doing the Fire for Life Funhouse thing. Somehow Bray got himself out from under no man's land to like actually being all the way back again, and Vince managed to crush it within 3, 4, or 5 months. But anyway, Benny the Bear says, thankfully, Shingo's got broad shoulders. He sure does. Shingo's
very
the fucking
much
man.
does, and he very much is a team player. I love that about him. Man, some of the stuff he did actually during the G1 was fantastic. Like, I love the match between him and Bolton Oleg, for example.
Yeah.
This goes to my man's point, which is he has broad shoulders because he knew it was time to put this man over while being as strong as he is.
Mm-hmm.
And that match was so freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I really did not think I didn't think Bolton would win, and when he did, I was just like,
"Yep,
that's all. Yep. That's all you can do. You're awesome."
Shingo's a great soldier. You know, like he's like Ishii, where it's like he's kind of at that point now where he loses as much as he wins, almost, but it doesn't matter because his matches are so good.
Not a single bit.
Yeah. Blurry line with a sentence I've seen many people say. I do not understand Jake Lee. I'm not sure if it's a slight cultural difference in his character, but I just don't really buy into him. I get annoyed when he beats wrestlers I feel are better. I think that's the problem, is that's almost the intention.
He's intentionally mysterious. That's why I appreciated the Smart Bastard a little bit more, because he came kind of out of nowhere, but it kind of gave me an idea of what type of wrestler he would be. Like, the Jester does not. I understand the confusion because I'm like, what the hell is this? Some days you're half painted. Some days you're full painted. Some days it's a mask. Some days you're not. Is the gimmick just, I'm just going to be unpredictable? I'm just going to make you think that you don't understand me? And he's kind of in a weird situation just because he's coming from DDT and he's actually Korean. So, So wrestling a different style in New Japan after having such a bad injury, like after the G1, I think it was the year before.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
It was the year before. And it's caused him to have to change his style. So I think he might rely on the gimmick a little bit too much because of his limitations.
I would just like to see it progress. You know, if I felt like it was going somewhere, it would be easier for me to accept and just kind of not focus so much on like, what's his fucking deal? You know? Blurry Line brings up a great comparison. Malachi Black in AEW too had that problem where he just said weird cryptic stuff and nothing ever happened. Now we kind of know it's because he had his eyes on WWE, but it was frustrating at the time. I felt the exact same way, where it was just like, these House of Black promos, and I know there's people in the chat who liked them, but for me, it was just like, what did they just say? Like, they just...
I'm going to make an admission. I did not like the House of Black segments. Not a one. Because of the fact that they made absolutely no sense and did not put any more direction.
Blurry Light says Jake Lee gives me oddities vibes.
No, I don't think it's that bad.
I don't know if I would have gone that far, but
that's a little too far.
Blurry's just trying to go too far so he can show us where the limits are, you know, of our like dislike.
Kurgan. Oh my God. Oh, brought back some memories.
Tito says Jake seems scared to bump, and you can't really be like that in New Japan.
That's true.
Agree.
You can't really be like that in New Japan.
Always never identifying himself as the one who liked the House of Black promos. I know it's you, friend. And that's why I said there's people in the chat. I was trying to keep you anonymous, but it's okay. You were a proud House of Black promo guy, and more power to you. More power to you.
Love.
Always never says never. I'm out and proud. All that said, we have, you know, some of these guys, like I was really surprised that Yudo Ice and Oscar were in this thing.
So was I, but at the same time, I was not, just because they dropped the tag team titles.
right before.
It was time to finally see if these guys are good as singles wrestlers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what was your verdict on that, Antoine?
My verdict: Yuya Uemura is over.
Yuya is massive.
Over. Yuya is my boy. I like him. And he is massively over. One thing that I can actually say, from a black wrestling, from a black perspective as a wrestling fan, is I don't feel like the culture of hip hop or anything is being used as a device. I feel like it's a part of his personality. And so I welcome that and I love that about him. Best part is dude went 4 for 5 or 4 and 5.
Yeah.
He only got pinned once. He got knocked out in every other match, meaning you had to knock his ass out in order to beat him. Mm-hmm. So he's the future. He has an injury kind of sort of like mine, which an elbow break, and that thing is very painful. And
currently?
Yes.
Wow.
That's the reason why he almost had to retire, because he dislocated his elbow. Mm-hmm. Which is why he'll always have it. You see, it'll be wrapped up a lot of the times.
Okay.
So him working through that and being as rough as he is, and Oscar.
Yeah.
He was the one I had trepidation about, personally.
In the G1 context, especially.
Yes, especially in the G1 context. I mean, you're big. You're big and you're tall. You're big and you're tall. And
you look like you're 13 years old, so.
Yes. I wish you would grow some hair. I mean, just for him. I mean, I like your presentation. I'm not sure. I had more belief that Yuta would do just fine than I did Oscar, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Oscar's performance and what he did was incredibly surprising.
He's a lot better than we thought. And I think that's. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was going to say my favorite match of his was him against Aaron Wolf.
Yeah, that was good. That was real good.
Fantastic.
And Aaron Wolf has really come through for the most part, in New Japan, for a guy who was introduced with so much spotlight and such a heavy. That would be really, really intimidating to a lot of people.
And at the same time, so much disdain.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was a run theme with Gabe Kidd and, everybody's picking the little judo boy. And I will say Aaron Wolf's the real motherfucking deal. He's about as old school as it gets. But I still remember when he lost the match to Gabe, unfortunately. But I remember when Gabe hit him with a forearm and he just looked at him and just clocked the blood and piss out of him. You knew, nah, dude, this dude's for real.
Well, and that's kind of what Gabe does best, is he gets you to the point where you want to see somebody beat his fucking ass so bad. Yeah. And then somebody does, and it's so satisfying. Blurryline says you need to be free of the fakes and bite the hands of the snakes that feed you the poison that trickles through this toxic society of sin, which he says is basically what an average House of Black segment sounds like.
Yes.
Fuck your mama 2 times in the chat.
Watch
for the bomber clawed knee. Benny the Bear, Yuya Ice definitely earned that fighting spirit award for sure.
He absolutely did. He absolutely did. I was so glad that he got that, because that dude was all about fighting spirit, whether he won or lost. He had the crowd. He had me riveted. Like it didn't matter who he was facing.
Yeah. And Tina says, no, if Oscar grows facial hair, he won't get hired on Nickelodeon as the weekly bully anymore. That's funny. That's funny. Well, there was a lot of great competitors. We'll talk about them more as we go. But what is your? Let me ask you this. I remember when Jon Moxley first left WWE, and I saw the Bulldog choke, and realized that he's going with that as he had a submission and a pinfall finisher, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it kind of looks like a headlock, you know?
Right. And a lot of people forget that at the same exact time, he was not going from WWE to AEW. He went from WWE to New Japan.
Right. And so it looked like a headlock to me. And I was like, I mean, okay, like he got it over with me eventually, where it was like, you know, I saw enough people tap or enough people pass out to eventually accept it. Right.
Ryohei Oiwa.
Little did I know that a mere 7 years later, a blonde and black-haired man would enter the squared circle and get a side headlock over so massively. He beat fucking Goto with this goddamn thing, didn't he?
You think about this, because when he was using it, all I could think was bulldog choke. That's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. Think about anybody who's had siblings. You know, have you ever been in, or friends where you're roughhoused? Have you ever been in a headlock? Have you ever pushed somebody off you who had you in a headlock and tried to stand up? You will pass the fuck out. Yes. Like be on the ground and somebody is just leaning back on you.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's why I love that guy. Because
me too.
He literally evolved to me right before my eyes more than any other wrestler. I even thought Yuya was more put together than he is.
Oh, I did. I absolutely did.
And this is nothing but, for me, it's nothing but positive. It's nothing but positive. The youth movement that, as a personal fan, I was terrified about, because, you know, everybody's dropping like flies. I mean, you know, live here in Jax, AEW is wonderful, but it was like stealing from something it was like taking from something that I really loved. And
right.
Nothing was getting replaced. And that is a problem on Gato. They were not spending enough time growing their own homegrown talent. And it forced them, especially with Bushiroad, I guess, knowing that they were losing money because they weren't paying anybody during the pandemic, which caused all of this. They had no choice but to move on. And Tanahashi knew I had no choice but to lean on these young wrestlers. I have to, even to the detriment of some of my veterans who are upset, like Taichi has been openly very upset about his usage. So he took a measured step to me that could have backfired. It could have, depending on how it went, but it didn't. I don't think the veterans are hurt for it, but I think the younger talent has been elevated because of it.
We could have ended up back in like an Inokiism situation had things gone the wrong way. You know, like, for instance, when they put the belt on Callum Newman earlier this year, to me, I was like, you guys, you got native talent.
Yeah, that bothered me a lot, to be honest.
It's not even a slight against Callum for me. It's like, he got way bigger. He's a very good wrestler. He's incredible.
But he wasn't ready. I honestly I will still say it to this day. He is not ready. He is not.
Well, and he has this story to tell with Will Ospreay now. And I think that's going to elevate him in all of our eyes as time goes on. So maybe next time, if there is a next time, maybe he'll feel a little more.
The rest of 2026 is going to be interesting.
Yes.
So I think it's coming.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, no, it's coming. I mean, there's a reason that the United Empire was on Dynamite this week. So I think that seeing the final, hearing, you can't convince me that crowd was anything more than. Oh my
God, that crowd was so loud.
For Oiwa. I mean, 80-20. Like, you could just hear it.
I'd go 70-30.
All right. Fair enough.
I go 70-30. just because I like my guy Yuya. You know, that's my constant thing.
I love Yuya.
So, but it was not strangely, it was ironically a pro Oiwa crowd when nobody on earth thought he had a shot to go going in.
I know.
Including me.
Did you hear how they freaked the fuck out every time he put the fucking headlock on? This motherfucker's name is The Grip. He's putting people in headlocks. You're dead, motherfucker.
Pop that head right off like a cherry.
Yeah, I know.
That goes to him being able to develop his wrestling persona like he said he wanted to. He said, I want to bring both of them said the same exact thing, strong style in my way to New Japan for the future. And I saw that on display that night.
We got Future Shocked Wrestling Pod in the chat. My friendo, what's up, buddy? I'm going to be on Future Shock Wrestling Pod next week.
Oh,
right before Dynamite, I'm going to be on. We're going to be live. So I'll keep you all informed, let you know where to go to find it. But give Future Shocked Wrestling Pod a follow if you could.
Sure will.
Because your boy will be there next week. And I'm very excited. So, New Japan, which is like, just as much, kind of pioneered the style that AEW now occupies, right?
Let's be honest. AEW is built not on, like when people used to say on WWE. No, it was built on Tony Khan's love of Eastern wrestling.
Yeah. So because there's little elements of a lot of things, but the wrestling style itself is predominantly that golden age New Japan run from 2009 to like 2020. Like it's 2022. Okay, fine. I feel like we're on the Price is Right now, where you're like you keep going 1 cent over me.
You see what I was doing? You caught me. What I was doing was trying to account for Tetsuya Naito's world title reign, because I consider that to be, more recent,
Yeah. Well, look, Naito was the fucking man those last few years he was there. I mean, he was carrying the promotion on his fucking shoulders. Fucking Mama 2 times says G1 is over. C2 is coming in December. Who in New Japan would you like to see in it? I would love to see Bolton, Oleg, or Hanare mix it up with All Elite. I would love to see Hanare in the C2. That would blow my mind. I'm a big Hanare fan.
If they have the C2, I'm going to couch that, because just for me, I think 2 tournaments for the same title makes no damn sense. Do it for something else. But I hope it still happens. But if I could pick anybody, give me either Hinare or Yuto Ice.
That'd be dope. I'd love. Oh, Yuto would get over big in America.
Big.
Fuck you, Mama 2 times. Inoki with the Tupac hologram. Shit. Oh my god. And they even tried to tie AI Antonio Inoki into it. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Like, that was ill-advised. Betty the Bear, 77. When Oiwa came out with the Tenzan bull horns, I was like, oh, he's winning. Yeah.
That was tight as hell. I love the Tenzan bull horns. Yo, if you get a chance, New Japan World is putting up some of Hiroyoshi Tenzan's best matches against Satoshi Kojima. Yeah. And others for free.
Yeah, probably Nagata and like that whole mix of guys from that era. Because Tenzan's isn't he like a 5-time NJPW champion?
I don't know about 5. I know
he was like 4 or 5.
I know he is multi-time He is multi-time world champion. He is multi-time tag team champion with Satoshi Kojima. He won a G1. This man is, he may look a little bit frail, but I appreciated the heck out of that retirement match so much.
Mm-hmm.
But in his prime, that man was awesome.
Watching that man weep after the G1 final was so amazing, you know, because this dude, I believe Tenzan, was he in NWO 2000?
Ooh, I don't want to commit to an answer. I'm going to say no.
Somebody look that up. Tell me. And tell me how many times he's been the champion, too. AEW is a mix of ECW and New Japan. It is a mix of those two things with little sprinkles of Jim Crockett and WCW.
The territories. Yep.
Funky Mama 2 times says Naito is the man in Noah. Yeah, he is the current GCW heavyweight champion, isn't he?
If I could just get myself to consistently watch Noah without turning it off, it would be better.
It would be better for Noah,
sorry.
too. I had a Wrestle Universe subscription for a long time. I'm currently not full-time employed, so I had to let it go. But, man, every time I tried to watch Noah, it was like, ugh. So in a promotion like New Japan, which serves as, you know, the basis for the craziness of AEW, right? Them turning to fundamentals the way they did in this match, but not just this match. They're telling a story, a longer-term story here.
Yes.
Yota Tsuji, how did Yota Tsuji win the world title from Takeshita? Boston Crab, right?
A simple move that they teach you in New Lion training.
Uemura comes out of this thing fucking just going for wrist locks, just wrist locks and wrist locks and wrist locks. You know, wrist lock is one of the first moves you learn, you know?
It was truly I don't want to say basic, but it was a pro wrestling match in the purest sense.
Yeah, it was a match for the Techers. You know, there's Zack Sabre, who is he's like experimental art of technical wrestling. You know what I mean? He's just like, they don't make him like Zach, you know? I mean, Zach's he's the Jimi Hendrix of Techers, you know? He's an alien from another fucking planet, you know?
He's the AI of technical wrestling.
Yeah, yeah. And Tino Ibarra says, great graps are back, y'all. So is this going to be a shift fundamentally in New Japan, do you think, where that's going to be a style that's more embraced by everyone? Or do you think that this is kind of the Musketeers kind of calling themselves out almost, like Tsuji and Oiwa and Uemura?
I think it's more of the Musketeers calling each other out. I don't think this is going to be a style that permeates all of New Japan, because you got your Gaijin groups, you still have House of Torture. Yeah. You know, you still have people like that. So
you still got Ospreay Jr., aka Callum Newman.
You know? Junior. But I can't stand that guy.
That was a tasty eye roll, man. That was a tasty eye roll.
I can't look, man. I can't hide my disdain for Callum.
I know you cannot. You cannot. Blairy Line says Tenzan was a founding NWO Japan member and 4-time champ.
Hey,
nice.
That's what my man deserves that love.
You know what? He was the go. You know, him and Nagata basically were like the go-to guys during Enochiism, where they could put the belt on them and they could at least trust that the fans would still show up.
That's what Oiwa reminds me of.
Yeah, Oiwa has that vibe. And then Uemura has always reminded me of Tanahashi. And now I see him doing high fly flows. You know, he's doing... he's got those beautiful suplexes.
Shota reminded me of Tanahashi. Like, he wanted to be the clone of all clones, but loved by everybody. And I think it backfired on him.
I think the Tanahashi try-hard energy is there with Shota, and that's what people don't like about him.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm sorry, That's all I can muster for him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But Yuya embodies more of the actual wrestling talent that freaking Tanahashi is.
Oh yeah. Well, and he's got a real connection with the audience too. That's very organic. You know, and Oiwa, we just got to give Oiwa all the credit in the world. He just got over massively on his own and proved that he was absolutely ready for this moment. Like he got himself over the course of the G1, really.
When the last 3 or 4 years happened and Oiwa goes to TMDK and Ren Narita goes here and Yota Tsuji goes here and Shota Umino goes here. I won't even leave out my boy Daiki Nagai goes over here. Now we're starting to see the fruits of all that labor. And it's kind of cool. It's really kind of cool. I kind of feel bad for the night, not the Naitos, but the Taichis and the Shingos.
Yep.
I think they'll be relegated a little bit lower, like the TV title, the global title. But I think with Oiwa getting his shot in October, they no longer get the shot at Wrestle Kingdom.
Right.
I think is actually good.
I think it's good.
Yeah, because you spend like 4 months just doing nothing.
Yep.
So,
and when they had it in the briefcase and then they had it in just like
the contract,
like a little contract folder, clipboard. And you know, Kota Ibushi carrying that thing around for 4 months. It's like, come on now. We give the boy a break. With that said, every side headlock got a massive pop. The wrist locks were getting massive pops. Basic but really well orchestrated suplexes by Uemura were getting huge pops. When he, because Oiwa's like original finisher is called the grip, right? Where it's like a clothesline that fucking looks like it decapitates you. Closest thing I've seen to a Bradshaw clothesline in a long time. Except way more athletic and better done, and probably done by a sober person. Like when he goes to hit the grip on Uemura and Uemura reverses it so beautifully. I mean, there's so much suspense in this match. They never left the ring. Ever.
That's the part that meant the most to me.
Yeah.
They never left the ring.
Nope.
Not once. It was in the ring the entire time for 30 plus minutes. And you were riveted because these young guys, these young men are freaking, you're realizing you're watching history in real time. I mean, they're going to be rivals. That's it.
Oh yeah.
We're seeing it happen right in front of us.
I think Uemura, Oiwa, and Tsuji. Those are the guys who will main event this promotion for the next 10 years.
May I add that I don't think Shota is out of that conversation. And I think they missed an opportunity to make Ren Narita a part of that conversation.
They've kind of missed the boat on a few guys, really. You got those big three that we were just talking about, but I would say they've definitely missed the boat on Sho, who I think could have been something more. He's still relatively young, I believe, right? Sho, the champion, right? I always get Sho and Yo mixed up. Okay. No, Sho's the guy in House of Torture.
Okay, Sho is younger. Yeah. Yo's almost actually 37, I think.
Yeah, and I bet you Sho is probably in his early 30s, somewhere around there.
Yeah, they blew it with Sho. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they blew it with him. He could have been a bigger star for sure.
Yeah.
Player Light says Fletcher is Ospreay Jr., Callum is Ospreay the Third.
Actually, that's more accurate.
Yeah. Blurry Line 7, the grip is a lariat of technique. The clothesline from hell was a lariat of alcoholic malice. Yeah, that's true. And Tino Ibarra points out that Shooter's catching some strays. I like Shooter. The thing is, I like
to catch strays because he earned that. I'm sorry.
I think part of it is just that they want him to be something that the fans won't let him be. And you kind of can't go any further if the fans won't go along with you.
Right. That's why you had to shave your head in the first place.
And that's maybe a heel turn. Maybe like show people what he can do aside from this thing that he's tried to. It feels like Cody and AEW to me, where it's like you're trying to make the crowd love you and they want to hate
too
you.
hard.
You're trying too hard.
You're
exactly.
Too hard.
Master Wato, they definitely missed the boat on. I would agree with that. And then Ren Narita, another great example. Great-O-Khan probably could have been a little more.
Yes, Great-O-Khan is probably my least favorite wrestler in all of New Japan. So I completely agree. That dude was a waste of space.
He went into, I mean, he's adopted that gimmick, which is kind of funny. He's got a Mongolian gimmick, basically. But they actually have a guy from Kazakhstan, like there, Bolton Oleg, Bolton Oleg, who's like,
right.
Who's right like next door to Mongolia.
Next door there. So it's kind of just funny. Ren Narita, the reason why I bring him up, and I still will, Lord forgive me, I still will defend Ren Narita on this. He did not bother me as much as Great-O-Khan in this tournament. House of Torture did not bother me as much. I saw a better Sonata than I've seen in years. Mm-hmm. And I think that match versus Gabe Kidd at the end is going to, I think it's going to have a play into his character. I think it needs to, because all these wonderful guys that are now going to be the trio, somebody's got to be the foil.
Right. Somebody's got to be the foil. And Ren Narita is a guy who can be the foil too. What I would like is just for the House of Torture shit with Ren Narita specifically, just dial that back. Like, remind the people what the man can do. It's like, remember they called him a Shibata clone, when he was young. Yeah. When he was young boy babyface, they called him a Shibata clone because he was. But that's because he could mirror Shibata. Like, he's very talented.
He could wrestle.
Yeah, he can wrestle.
Go back to basics.
Yeah. So I think Naito leaving in the end, and no disrespect to Naito, I love Naito. I only take shots at him to get on your nerves sometimes. But, you do it with Kenny. Come on. I
was busted on that one. Damn.
Yeah.
Because I'm on bust.
But honestly, I think Naito leaving was probably what they needed. New Japan needed
and he needed. And just to get a shot in the ass to do something different and to really embrace the future. Because you look at that what you got right now with Yudo Ice, Oscar, you got Callum, Ryohei Oiwa, Shota Umino, Aaron Wolf, Uemura, Tsuji, Bolton Oleg, Hanare. Like, the oldest person in that group is 33. Hanare. They got a great future ahead of them. They got a great future. And I've been watching Hanare's career ever since he was a young lion. So
yeah,
seeing the reception he gets when he comes to the United States or he comes over here is awesome every time. That
match on Dynamite, when the crowd really got to see Hanare for a few minutes and just he was getting mass.
Like, y'all get to see what I watch. That dude is fucking, he is a machine.
Yes.
It don't matter how big you are.
Blurry Line says Great-O-Khan just feels like a very large pervert who lucked his way into a wrestling career. Allegedly. I didn't. Yeah.
He saved a girl's life.
Blurry Line also says Shooter's destined to start the New Japan version of the Bloodline and have 45-minute in-ring promos where he's bestowed a pair of red shoes by his dad. Oh my God.
That's horrible.
That's really sad.
So bad.
Roman even wore red shoes at one point.
He did. I remember him. But you know what? I liked him. I don't care.
They were good. Fucking Mama 2 times. Great O'Connor, Jake Lee are the new evils of New Japan. Kinda, yeah.
And by that, I'm thinking like the evils as in not the bad guys. I'm thinking the evils that are they're just bad.
Yeah, right. No, I mean evil. Like evil. The guy who used to lead the House of Torture. Yeah.
Well, they haven't reached that level, I think, of respect yet.
No, that's true. That's true. Because Evil was cool at one point.
He was cool at one point.
Yeah. When he was still in LIJ, he was cool.
Mm-hmm.
When he first left LIJ, he was still cool. They just made him do the exact same thing in every match for like 4 years.
And then when he finally decided to just wrestle just last year in the G1, he leaves and goes there.
Yep. Goes and marries his fucking smoking wife and fucking now they just hang out all the time. I can't blame him. I'd go to NXT too. I can't blame him.
No.
So there's a larger conversation about New Japan, kind of the last little bit of New Japan stuff here for now. You know, they've been in this position where they can't really compete financially with AEW and WWE. But the solution can't be like, we can't push this guy too hard because they'll eventually leave. I do think they probably need to embrace that attitude with the foreign talent a little more. You know, there was a long period of time where Gaijin wrestlers didn't win the world title, you know, because they were going to leave at some point, right? Mm-hmm. But that's, you know, not pushing people to keep them with you is how you make sure nobody ever becomes a star. But the G1 Climax and Wrestle Kingdom both still mean a lot. And I would say the 2026 G1 demonstrated that the tournament can still create stars rather than merely showcasing existing ones. And maybe that's the real advantage that they have.
That's what's been missing on a more consistent basis when it comes to like the G1 and tournament time season for New Japan. I've seen it more, for instance, just to use them as an example, Stardom has been doing that with the 5-star, but New Japan hasn't been doing that as frequent. And to see them now utilize these tournaments to highlight those new stars that are supposed to be the ones that we're supposed to care about for the next 10 years. Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice. It feels, you know, like how in AEW right now, you can look at the top of the card, right? You know, where you got Copeland and Christian in their 50s, and you got Moxley's in his 40s now, Kenny's in his 40s, the Bucks are in their 40s, FTR are going to be in their 40s if they're not already. But from them on down to Nick Wayne, you know, to these super young people, they are set up for you're going to watch this card move through this conveyor belt of pro wrestling greatness for the next 20 years. You know, you're looking at it in real time.
I think that is something special to be able to have for, I don't really honestly count TNA. I just don't when WCW died. We get to finally just be able to watch the generations grow, move on, and their replacements in real time.
That's one of my favorite things about sports is just watching a career unfold of somebody that I really like, you know? And so like discovering a new person and really forming an attachment to them, and then watching them go from like green or like nervous or whatever to like sure of themselves to like super confident to like top of the card to retirement. Like the whole thing, you know, you can watch that unfold with that roster, and now we can do it with New Japan too. And that's really cool.
Yes.
Blurry Line says, Hanare and Akira are one of my favorite big man, little man tag teams. They complement each other so well. You know what? They remind me of like a Marvel, like within the X-Men, how like there's certain dudes who always go out on the same missions together. Like Hanare and Akira remind me of something like that, where it's like just an oddball tag team. I love it. Benny the Bear unironically says Jericho versus Evil ruled for sure because it did. It
did.
was very cool. Yeah. Blair Line says FTR have been in their 40s since they were 26. That is very true.
That is the key to looking young. Always look old.
Yeah. That is the quote of the show. The key to looking young is always look old. Yes. Yeti Malone says, I think Cash is a 45 ACP. Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay. So we lost our goddamn minds during the G1 finals, but Kenny Omega last night lost his goddamn mind, and I'm here for it.
Oh, I don't think he lost his mind.
Oh, come on. He did.
I don't think he lost his mind. I think he just showed everybody who he really is.
No, for sure. For sure. I think Kenny is like Gollum with the belt. The belt makes him a bad person. The belt makes him paranoid. The belt makes him, it just makes him into somebody else. And when he hits the fucking thing on Ospreay through the table at the end of the show, the one-winged angel.
And him sitting there and just sort of
like he looks like he's high after doing it. Like he's
I just to no other explanation. It felt like he just got off on the fact that he did that to Will Ospreay.
Yep. Like he's been restraining himself for too long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, neither Kenny nor Will was ever considered like a truly like great promo, right? But I gotta say that the promos they have done in this program have been really good. Like
this
really
is
good.
The best promo work of either man's career.
Yep.
The only thing that comes close to me for Will Ospreay was when he originally left Chaos and formed the United Empire.
That was great.
That was
when he turned on Okada.
Yes, that dude was starting to find his voice.
He was really good.
Mm-hmm. Kenny was always about changing the world. This, that, and other. A great heel. And it came out in this segment like it was riveting. Like, don't tell nobody, but I was supposed to be working. I was watching that again.
Nice. No, that's just great pro wrestling television, period.
Mm-hmm. And the amount of things that they touched on that made me like go back and think about, oh yeah, I remember what they were saying about Will Ospreay. I remember what they were saying about Kenny Omega. I do remember those interactions. I remember Wrestle Kingdom 17. I remember all of that. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of who Kenny is as a wrestler, not as a person, as a wrestler, came out yesterday. Mm-hmm. Period. And you either like him or you hate him. But that's Kenny.
I think people love this Kenny. Even the people who hate him kind of love him. Like it's because he's a fucking
dick.
He's a fucking dick. He's like, he's insane and he's riveting to watch. You know, I mean, this is Kenny at his very most dangerous and his very best. When they did the sit down segment you were just talking about with Renee, it was not by any means. And this is what I've loved the most about this. They are not just doing pro wrestling promos.
No, they're having
these people know who I am. You know, like they're doing that shit.
Conversations.
Yeah. And that first one they did in the ring a few weeks ago, you know, where Kenny's slapping Will and he's like, "You liar, Will." You know, like Kenny's been waiting for this program all year. You could just tell, like he's been waiting for it.
I feel like he's been waiting for this since Will signed with AEW.
Yeah. And when in this sit-down segment, Ospreay goes through, the PWG match that they had. And then what he did to Ospreay humiliated him in front of his own people in Japan. and showed him no mercy and showed him no respect whatsoever.
No, he did not.
No, Kenny was a total bastard.
and the counterpoint to that is I remember, when speaking of that PWG match, and he finally gets to New Japan, and all the talk about Will Ospreay in the junior division is, yeah, he's a good spot. But he ain't gonna take this shit seriously. He ain't gonna be somebody. And to watch Kenny be in that same division, pass him, leave that mark so indelibly, and Will have to follow that. And I think Will had great points because it was different during the pandemic. He had to do a lot of different lifting. And when he made that decision to go from junior heavyweight to pure heavyweight, that's the Will Ospreay. That was the beginning of the Will Ospreay we see today.
Right. And Kenny being the dickhead, but the dickhead with a point, kind of in the it's not like everything he's saying is a lie or it's wrong.
No. Yeah,
it's not fair either. You know what I mean? He's not being fair.
He's being a dick about it.
Yeah. He's being an absolute bastard about it. And then by the end, he's got Ospreay totally worked up. And he goes, look, Will, I'm looking forward to the match. I can't wait to wrestle you in front of your home country. And I know your mom, she's still going to respect you after this match is over.
I was with Will on that.
Your son's going to need a new hero.
You don't mention my mom. I'll beat your ass.
That was like, motherfucker.
That's the real Kenny. God damn it.
Yes. And what I love about this is Kenny showing what being the world champion is actually about. It's not just about winning matches. You play the mind games. You get into people's heads. You fuck with them. You try to get a competitive advantage.
You're expected to sell out arenas. You're expected to lead a company. He threw that in Will's face like multiple times.
Why was I in Japan, Will? Why was I in Japan? Because they needed to sell tickets and you weren't doing it. Bam! Like
I couldn't say much to defend Will on that one. That was a low blow. That was,
what? Will didn't even defend himself on that one. Will's like, I know, Kenny. You're like, I know. But like at the same time, you like came in and just, basically fucking, I loved that New Japan match they had for the simple reason that
so good.
I had always loved watching Will Ospreay in the ring. And I had heard some promos that I thought were really good of his. But when he takes that DDT on the fucking turnbuckle, on the top turnbuckle, and his selling is so good for the rest of that match. The entire match is told with selling.
That's one of the things that he had a problem with.
Well, and I had never seen that Will Ospreay before, and that was the match that made me realize this guy's got it all. He can do it all. And when I saw how well he sold, just being out of it on his feet and trying to fight back. All right, let's catch up with the chat here real quick. Blurry Line says, random shout, but I was thinking that I sincerely hope they made a contribution of the Daybreak vignette for All In where Swerve meets and corrupts them. Yeah. Oh my God. We're going to get to that. After Ospreay's NJPW and COVID promo, I was waiting for Omega to go, wah.
Come on.
No, I know.
I mean, it was bad. It was bad.
It was terrible. They were being sequestered in their hotel rooms for 2 weeks at a time.
We had it nice compared to what they did.
We just refused to be safe in America.
Right. Yeah,
in Japan, they're like 12 cases a day is too many. We're like, we're only at like 50,000 a day. Like, what's the big deal? Benny the Bear, masterful performance by Kenny in that sit down because he was turning up the dial through it all.
There's one point in that segment that I actually want to point out, and this gives me the opportunity to, was him Did anybody notice him snapping at Renee?
Yeah. Yep.
This man's going heel.
Yeah.
This man's going way heel.
Yeah.
Because once you start doing that, you start snapping at my homegirl Renee, who's just asking questions. Yeah, you're starting to lose your focus a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Blurry Light said, Will's promos were a man coming to his sanity and discovering the weight of his maturity. Kenny's are a man coming to terms with his insanity and knowing the limits he needs to remove from himself. Well said. Oh my God, that is exactly right.
Because the cleaner knows that the cleaner needs to be the actual cleaner in order to put Will out of his misery permanently.
Yes. Pippin says, I realized something last night between Kenny and Fletcher. The cuntier a man is, the hotter I find them. Michael Allen Lewis says,
nice guys always lose.
Well, coming from two guys who are pretty nice ourselves. Yeah, believe me, we speak from experience. Kenny's line where he says, even if you had the fans, do you think they'd be coming to see you? That was a kill shot. Yeah, it was
a kill shot, but it was an unfair kill shot because
it was totally unfair. Totally
that was
unfair.
The one I disagreed with because the fans were behind Will.
Kenny took every opportunity to like undersell Will. I mean, he would give him only as much credit as he absolutely had to. And I thought that was a great touch, just a great touch. Blair Line says, also Will was having to lay over in Russia, which, isn't the most peaceful place to be in the early 2020s, nor is it now. Yeah, exactly. They've done a masterful job over a pretty short build to really make me want this match. These two guys, this is so much more than just a cool match. I'm
going to be honest. I think this may be the best 30-day title reign I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
because I think he's losing it all in, but it's been not 30-day, but this short
6
of a
weeks.
title, 6 weeks or however long. But do you realize the amount of movement has been made in the top of the men's division because of Kenny being there?
Yep. Well, and there's two parts to that. The first part has to do with these guys. So what I would say is these guys found the emotional core of this story. Our mutual friend Calvin on Threads had a theory last night that he believes Ospreay kicks out of the one-winged angel in this match. And I thought about it for like 4 seconds and I was like, that would make all the sense in the world.
It's only been one.
It was and it was before it was really Kenny's like trademark move too. Like it was in DDT, right? It was Kota in DDT?
No, it was in New Japan.
Okay. I think Ospreay, I could totally see that as Kenny hits it and Will actually kicks out.
I could see it too. I could see it too, and I would love it because I would love.
That's an all-time moment.
The amount of drama it would cause and the amount of emotional distress it would put Kenny in just would be fantastic. Yeah.
And the response of that UK audience when their hero kicks out of the one-winged angel.
I'd be so happy for him. It'd be shit.
That's an all-time wrestling moment right there.
You're leaving that freaking pay-per-view not being able to hear or talk.
Yeah. Yep. Blurry Line says, Will cannot win and live with himself when he's caught up in being the Commonwealth kingpin. He needs to be centered and grounded by his family and morals to feel like he won, regardless of the result.
This the Commonwealth kingpin.
Benny the Bear said that would set off the fireworks at Wembley. Yeah, for sure it would. Then we got this match between these two fellas that I think are pretty good. Jon Moxley and Jay White.
Ugh.
Did I know this match was going to be really good? I did. Did I like the result? I fucking hated it. I really didn't like it.
Hated it.
I am a big fan of Jay White. I mean, he's one of my very, very favorites.
Mine too.
I'm a huge fan of Jon Moxley. I respect everything he's done the last 7 years. Particularly, I loved him in WWE. He was really one of the only guys I liked. He was one of my very favorites. Moxley's really starting to feel cut and paste to me right now. So when this match was announced, I had this as the finals of the tournament.
So did I, actually.
Yeah. I think this match was like the crowd reaction when the bell rang, right? Before they even touched each other.
Everybody went off. This had the feeling of the finals. I admit, I even posted about it, and I said, this is just a theory, but what if Jay White goes through Moxley to beat him for the title? He'll be in his head so much that it would just make it. You're not only making Jay White in AEW, you're putting someone in the head of Jon Moxley for once for the foreseeable future, just like Kyle O'Reilly kind of is. I saw so much potential, and it was a fantastic match. God,
Jay looked so good in this one. Like, he looked like Switchblade to me. Like,
I was going to say this. He's been back at the pay-per-view. He was back in the first round of this. He's had his matches. I got to see him do a deadlift, German suplex, but now he's got his sleeper suplexes back. He's got his Uranage's back.
Yep.
He's got that intelligence back. This was the Switchblade, and the Switchblade should have won. It would have been so wonderful to see someone have a 3-0 record against Moxley, because he was throwing that in his face the whole time. And I do recommend, if you have a chance, to watch the G1 match between Switchblade and Jon Moxley.
Really good match. Really good.
Really good.
I saw this match wasn't going to be the final, and that they were drawn for each other.
I was sad about that.
And I immediately had this sinking feeling, because I'm like, there's no way fucking Mox is losing on Dynamite in this tournament. There's just no way.
No.
And so then I was like, well, how are they going to do it? And I'm not kidding. Like, I'm the only witness to this, but I literally thought Jay passes out in the fucking thing. He doesn't submit, but he passes out in the thing after looking really tough. I will grant Jon Moxley that he did everything. He gave Jay most of the match. Like, he really did. When Jay had touched his neck last week during the match with Finlay and scared the shit out of everybody, I thought they were maybe going to tell a story like they're telling with Nigel, where it's like he keeps pushing through even though he's got this injury.
Right.
But I think that's what they're doing with Nigel now. And so I love Nigel, but I'm just going to say something. I think Tony Khan is vastly overestimating the appeal of Nigel McGuinness as a singles wrestler in 2026. I think he's overestimating.
Yes, he is, and the reaction is kind of paramount.
I love Nigel.
I love Nigel too, and the crowd was behind Nigel. But in this day and age, his style just doesn't. I don't want to say fit, because he's getting ready to fight Lee Moriarty at Death Before Dishonor, and I think that match is going to be fantastic, even though he's legitimately hurt. But I thought his inclusion in this tournament shouldn't have happened from the beginning.
I just think Tony's going a little, like, not a little. He's going very heavy-handed on the Brits dominate the show kind of thing. Like, we got the Brawling Birds, you got Nigel, you got Will, you got, so all the people from the UK are going to win all the big matches. Like, you don't have to go that overboard with it, Let's see what the chat's saying real quick. Blurry line, Kenny needs to win regardless of morals. He's been grooming Will to succeed him for 10 years. And now those 10 years have passed. He realizes he's not ready to step aside. He needs to shed all the parts of himself that could ever step aside for another wrestler. He needs to invoke that same power addict that Will's leaving behind. Yeah.
And I think everything that he said, everything you said, Blurry line, is accurate. And that's why Kenny is losing. Yeah.
Kenny's losing. I mean, Kenny's losing. Pippin, Jay White was robbed. Agreed. Blurry line, Jay should have won this. I still think they're saving the downfall of Mox for All Out, though. So here's the thing. Mox is somehow being booked stronger now
than when he was champion.
Than when he was the world champion.
When he was the men's world champion. Somehow the Continental title he's booked as unstoppable.
And remember they had that whole run where like he kept tapping out and like, you know, it's like he went on this little run of putting a bunch of people.
And he lost here. And where did that evolvement from that happening to me becoming the unstoppable Terminator happen? Mm-hmm. It just sort of switch was flipped, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I love Mox. I have never been this burnt out on a wrestler I like as much as Mox ever. It's kind of a new experience for me. Like, Tony, you're taking this too far. I don't blame Mox for this. I blame Tony Khan. He's the booker.
He relies on him too much.
He relies on him way too much.
I'll say it again. I thought this guy was supposed to go on a fishing trip vacation like 3 years ago. And he ain't done shit.
Mox is overexposed, is what I would say. He's overexposed, and that can happen to anybody. You know, I think one of the huge reasons Kenny is popping so big in all these segments right now is because he's not there very much. You know, like we miss him when he's gone, and then he comes back. You know, Swerve, we missed him for a while. Now he's back. You know, John is never gone.
He's never gone.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love about AEW and the way they structure their contracts, is because everybody kept complaining like they have too many stars. And it's like, no, they actually don't, because they can rotate them in and out all the time. And they do it, but they don't with him.
Right. They don't with Mox. Michael Allen Lewis asking a fair question. What are we doing with Jay White? I don't see the vision, TK.
I don't see the vision either, because when I know Jay as a switchblade. I know Jay as a conniving ass motherfucker. And he don't care about nobody except the people he rocks with. And they started down that path when he got to AEW. And then he got, you know, he has this, I don't know, guy just has freak injuries. And that has derailed him. And now, I don't know, they're merchandise sellers.
Blair Line makes a great point. If Jay had worn his proper tights, he'd have won this match. Look, we've been talking about this for a while.
White tights. Or the black ones with the switchblade through. Those are the only two options. I don't know what the hell he's doing with those with those pants for wrestling.
I've decided that if Jay wants to continue wearing these weird kickboxer pants or whatever he's wearing, if he wants to keep wearing them, he should tuck them into his boots like Sabu. Like,
you know what? Yes.
It would be an even weirder look, you know? I mean, might as well just go all the way, right?
Go all the way.
Yeah, go all the way, baby. Benny the Bear, shooter boots and trunks Mox in the G1. Yeah, exactly. Dictator John had to get one of his wins back from Jay. Like I said, I am not blaming John Moxley for this personally. I don't think he's demanding that he be put in this position.
I don't think he is either.
No.
Sometimes a boss can rely on an employee a little too goddamn much.
Yep. And I'm telling Tony Khan right now, it's like we've gone too far. Like, we've gone too far. Now, if Nigel and Mox end up in the finals, what annoys me possibly more is that I think Mox will win.
That is honestly the worst result possible, is for me, in liking both guys, and no disrespect, but that is the finals would kill me. No.
Yeah, it would kind of upset me. It'd be a bummer.
It really would. If Mox has to be forced down our throat to be in this final, then I want to see him, I don't know, against Kyle O'Reilly. Somebody who has really got your number and will take that title from you, and everyone will believe it.
Yeah. Pyrrhus Wrestling, what's up? Ilya will be signed with AEW. Just Tony needs to do the Continental with Ilya, say less. The C2 with Ilya in it would be awesome. I mean, no doubt about that. Michael Allen Lewis, according to PW Insider Wednesday night, McGuinness is no longer working ROH Death Before Dishonor at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia on Friday. I did see that rumor that he's going to be replaced by Shibata or I can't remember who the other name was, but McGuinness is not wrestling at Death Before Dishonor.
I know he wanted to really bad, and he actually had that sit-down interview in Ring of Honor where he talked about the injury, and he said that if he could get cleared, he would wrestle. So they still had him on the graphic, and it was kind of nice just because he mentioned that him and Lee Moriarty are actually friends. So he told him, he apologized about that. But if that's the case now, okay, I kind of feel sad for him. I was looking forward to him, not in the Continental, but I was looking forward to him against Lee Moriarty.
Yeah, I was excited about that match because I think Nigel would have won, honestly.
I think so, too.
It makes no sense for him to beat Lee and then go continue to be in this tournament as well. I don't know why that was even booked. Always Never, I'm just over Mox being unstoppable. Nigel is dope, but maybe this should be his last AEW singles match. Maybe. Blurry Line, I do think Mox and Nigel has a lot more to it. I think it's coming full circle to Bryan Danielson, given the connection to both of them. I maybe even think Bryan is involved. That would be interesting. Maybe Bryan manages Nigel or something.
Does he need a manager at this age?
I know. But I mean, it would be cool to see Bryan Danielson.
Any way we can fit him in?
Yeah. Or he could be the ref for the match, you know? Who knows?
I'll take him any way we get him. I don't care.
I love the man.
Yes.
Yes. Tino Ibarra, I'm more pissed about Nigel moving on, to be honest. I am too. I
am too. I was. I rewatched all of Dynamite this morning.
Yeah. I didn't think the Hechicero match was even that good. That I shouldn't be saying that. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to say that.
Hechicero carried it. I mean, we know Hechicero carried it.
Oh, I know. No. It's not a diss on either guy. It's Nigel is selling a foot injury, right? A really bad foot injury, which, as far as I know, is a kayfabe injury. But he's selling it like he can barely walk. So all he did was catch Hechicero in like a guillotine choke and get lucky and choke him out.
Yeah, that's all he did. And a knee.
Yeah, a knee. Right, exactly. But what's he going to do?
I don't know. I felt it was a waste just because it could have been given to somebody else. I'd have been way more excited for anybody else.
Tina says, do you think all the injuries are making TK wary of putting the belt on him, Jay? You know, Jay, as far as I know, he's really only had the one injury. It was really bad because he had to have shoulder surgery and stuff.
He had one early in his AEW career.
Okay.
Yeah, when he was a full heel, he had one then too.
Okay. Somebody pointed this out to me was that everybody who's come over from New Japan, who is like a New Japan main eventer, has been broken at some point pretty quickly into their run.
Will Ospreay already comes to mind.
Ospreay, White, Kenny.
What about Kyle? Did Kyle miss any time?
No.
Mark Davis, he missed time.
Mark Davis missed a shitload of time. There's others too. I mean, there's plenty of others. But a lot of those guys, like they have a bit of a track record of coming out of New Japan. Those runs are not booked for longevity. They're just not.
New Japan works a schedule that will work you. Will work you. And I think a lot of them coming over to AEW, not working as much, you know, the body is not always getting those reps and realizing, wait a minute, everything I've been doing for like the past 10 years is something I probably shouldn't have been doing. I still love New Japan. I don't care.
I saw an interview with Kenny Omega. Some dude was doing like, it looked like it was in a casino or something. I think it was at a gaming thing. And Kenny was like, yeah, I just had a great time.
He was playing some kid. Did you see the video?
Yeah. And he was like, what would you tell your younger self if you could tell him anything? And just like, dude, if I had a crystal ball, I would just tell him like, know when to go crazy and when not to. because all I did was give 100% every time. And you shouldn't if you want to have a longer career. And he said, I have no regrets, but, ultimately, I wish I had maybe known when to go full bore and when not to, Know
when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Benny the Bear says, agreed. I'm holding out hope that someone will get a surprise win over Mox. Yeah,
anybody. I don't care who.
And it's one of those things. Like, I remember being a big Steve Austin fan, and when he came to WWF as the fucking ringmaster, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, this is bad. This is real bad. Then he became Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I was like, this is kind of interesting. And I just wanted him to I would have been happy if the guy won the Intercontinental title once, I just wanted him to have that experience,
Mm-hmm.
Then he became the biggest star in the history of the fucking business for several years, right? But at a certain point, even this guy that I dearly love, I got sick of him being like the top guy all the time,
All the time.
Yeah, all the time. I got sick of The Rock being on top all the time. If anybody's on top too long, you get sick of them. That's where I'm at with Mox. It's just too much.
Except Athena.
Blair Line, I think Jay still is the Switchblade. I don't think he's ever a babyface. I think he's always the Switchblade playing a babyface. He's still absolutely that killer.
I need him to more tap into that, because that is something I need more of, which is the Switchblade. The Switchblade wrestled on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's the guy that needs to continue to wrestle and lead. They can still be fan favorites. They ain't got to change them.
No.
But that grit, that moveset, that's the Switchblade.
Yes. Well, and I happened to be at one of his best singles matches. I just happened to be in the crowd that night. It was at Wrestle Dream, the second Wrestle Dream, when he wrestled Hangman. It was in the opening match. And that was how you do Switchblade as a fan favorite, as a babyface, is he is antagonizing Hangman, causing him to rage at him, and then countering everything he does and using everything he does against him until he just tires him out, hits him with the Blade Runner, and it's over. Like, Hangman just could not beat him. He turned everything Hangman's character was doing, which was kind of giving into the darkness inside of him. He was using that against him. He's antagonizing him. And he can do that as a babyface. He's doing a good job of it so far.
Mm-hmm. You see how all up in Mox's face he was. Oh, he does this so well.
I just don't want to see Mox choke another guy out and the guy passes out instead of tapping out. Like, I don't want Jay to tap. Just, like, don't even make this match. Come on.
Or just do the right thing and have Jay win.
Yeah, just have Jay win, goddammit. Make it the finals and fucking all in, you big cowards. Michael Allen Lewis, remember the time period where Mox wrestled Punk? He wasn't under contract. He could have walked out on AEW at a critical time. Tony feels beholden to him. He obviously does, right? And I think Mox is probably a great dude, and has probably been the model of a guy to work with. But the fans and what we want to see matters the most. That is the thing that matters the most.
Yeah, I remember those times. I remember that time, but we've got to move past that at some point in time.
You know who was critically important to WWF in the 80s, who was like actually considered the general of the locker room? Tito Santana. Okay, was Tito the world champion? No, because nobody wanted Tito Santana to be the world champion. That's why. There's like a limit to everything, is what I'm saying. John Moxley is not the Tito Santana of AEW.
I was getting ready to say for a second, I was like, did Tito Santana enter this conversation?
Yeah, I know. But has Blade just totally gone off the fucking rails? Answer, yes. Always Never says, that's fine about Nigel missing the match with Lee. What was this going to be the third time between them? Not sure why he was in the cup. Scorpio Sky is right there. Well, fair.
This is this actually is the third time between them. And apparently they're really actually close. They're really close friends.
Yes. I think Nigel loves putting Lee over. Yeti Malone says Fletcher missed like 3 weeks or so. Yeah, after kind of a fluky freak injury that didn't even require surgery at the end of the day. Bleary Line, I remember I joked that Jay was gone so long because Juice got him pregnant. Well, looky at what was just announced this week. All hail the Juice of Daisyak. What was just announced this week? Did I miss something?
Yeah, I think I missed something too.
I was one of those people that liked ruthless aggression John Cena, and then he became superhero military man and never lost. Not a fan of that kind of booking. Yeah, Super Mox isn't doing it for me. I don't like undefeated guys who can't lose. I've never really been drawn to that.
No. And I don't need another one here in All Elite Wrestling. The reason why you call it that is because the Elite are supposed to be there, which means anybody can lose. Yep. Dude, it's too protected.
He's too protected. Tino says, I wanted Tito to be the world champion, you bastard. Just kidding. I am a Tito Santana's fan. I enjoy Tito Santana's work. Larry Line, Switchblade is the single best gimmick translation to matches. He doesn't just talk like the Switchblade, he wrestles like him. He will be so fucking annoying and antagonistic to you that you fly into a rage and map out your attack pattern and moveset to him. All he has to do is withstand it the first time, and then he can start picking it apart the second time. Oh, the announcement this week was that Jay and his wife are having a baby. That's right.
Oh.
And Yeti Malone said, I'm trying to hide my love of Goldberg. No! Okay, we got to move past this this venting about Mox. Maya World got a huge win in a 4-way match that I thought was a really great match.
Excellent match.
I don't have a lot to say other than I just thought everybody looked really great, and I was less shocked than ever that Maya won, to be honest with you. Like she's starting to just have that feel of legitimacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I expected her to win when this match was announced. And I watched it. She's turning that corner.
Yeah, big time. Where you expect her to win big matches.
Mm-hmm. You know? And I like the fact that that instead of the pin going to Persephone or to Sheeta, it went to Stat. So now I got one over you too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Persephone continues to be fucking awesome. I loved everybody in this match. I mean, it's just a great match between 4 people that I think are great.
I just love the time that they gave them.
The picture-in-picture promos were a nice touch. Yep. Yeah, everybody got their stuff in. Everybody's personality shined. It was great. It really was.
I think it's some of Sheeta's best character work that she's ever done.
Oh, it far exceeds any character work she did during her champion runs. I didn't know Sheeta had this in her. Like, I really didn't. And she's been fucking fantastic. Blair Line says Maya 100% should have won. I also I feel like Stat really cemented herself as AEW's best multi-woman match performer. It's her specialty and fits her pace perfectly. This match did such a great job of showcasing her timing and her athleticism. Chris Statlander is a great athlete. I feel like I've spent so much of this year talking about the limits of Chris Statlander along character stuff. But goddamn, the raw physical tools.
What about the potential? Yeah, what about the potential that she's still, even after being world champion, she still hasn't reached all of her potential yet.
Not even close.
She's that much of an untapped, yet that successful already type of wrestler. And in a 4-way match, you can get lost, or you have 2 people on the outside, or you have 1 person on the outside, because at least, you can't really have everybody in the ring at the same time. But Chris navigates that perfectly.
Yeah, and her and Persephone were kind of, in my opinion, kind of the MVPs of the match, because they're kind of keeping the match grounded and holding everything down while Sheeta's doing the drop kick from the top, or like, Maya's kind of flying around a little bit. Lots of cool shit happening. But the way they timed it all was so good. So good. Blair Line, Willow and Mercedes feud like they owe each other a lot of money.
But we ain't even got there yet, boy.
No, we're going there real quick, though. Benny the Bear, Stat truly is the workhorse of this division. In so many ways, it's true. Yeah.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Speaking of not even close, the promo between Willow and Mercedes started with them being not even close to each other. They were on a split screen because they had to be separated. And these two pissed each other off so fucking bad during the words that they found each other's asses and beat the shit out of each other all over the arena.
Don't piss off the nice people, because the nice people are the ones who really get mad when it's time to get mad. I loved this segment so much. This was my favorite part of Dynamite, to be quite honest. It was
so good. What I like about the way Mercedes is presenting herself is it's truly completely removed from Sasha Banks, where she's a bitch and she's going to beat the shit out of you. Like, she's not like a chicken shit like Sasha Banks was, right? She's a mean, angry person who's going to hurt you, and she wants to hurt you, you know? And Willow and her taking the earrings off and shit. Willow having learned her fucking lesson from getting an earring torn through her fucking ear, like against Tekla a while back. These two just pulverized each other.
Because that's black woman shit. You take you take everything out. But I take them out. No.
No, and these two, I posted from Jobber Underground, which you should find us at Jobber Underground on social media and follow us there. The home of Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out and Pro Wrestling Forever. They just found this energy between the two of them where they are inextricably linked to each other. And this did the same thing as Ospreay and Kenny. It already kind of had that personal element to it that can be switched off and switched back on at any time.
I thought so.
They have taken it so much further. And just this promo alone was so great. Is like Willow says, you know, Mercedes, you're so cool and everybody thinks you're a star. All I do is smile and these people love me. It was like, look how hard you have to try. All I am is myself, you know?
This felt like a promo that was years in the coming, because Willow does kind of have Mercedes' number and has over the past, 2-3 years, when Sasha left WWE, one of the first things she says, I want to be international. So guess what happened? The creation of you have the New Japan Strong title. You have the IWGP Women's Championship is being created at that time. And she's going throughout Japan, establishing herself. And there's Willow in New Japan Strong. I'd seen Willow before, but she alluded to it during the actual interview, which I like the way that she's positioning herself as the victim while Willow is the bully, because you kind of can, when you put it through her prism, you kind of can actually see it, because that match she's talking about, she broke her freaking ankle and it looked like she wasn't going to wrestle again, and made an audible for Willow to win the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of why she was kind of smiling at her, happy at her, because she knew what she just did for her. And for it to be turned around because her ego has just gotten so out of control. And now she sees nothing but those smiles as I'm laughing at you, antagonistic. I'm laughing at you, not with you no more. I'm laughing at you, and I'm using you as my stepping stone. Like that match, the TBS title, it ended I'll admit, I had Mercedes in that match. It ended my year. I was like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think you made a great point. How Mercedes explained her side of it made so much sense, because if you were an antagonistic sociopath with no self-awareness at all. That's exactly how you would see the whole thing. She's bullied me. She pushed me into a cake and they all beat me up together.
How you see it.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah. But Mercedes, you know, that doesn't account for a lot of Mercedes being really insufferable, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Michael Allen Lewis says, so after this week, I've determined that the women should main event Wembley. They've sold their feud twice as well in half the amount of time than Ospreay and Omega.
I've actually already posted about this. I agree. That is already my main event for All In is Willow and Mercedes. No disrespect, guys. Those ladies should headline that event.
It's going to be a great match. There's no way Ospreay's not headlining in Wembley, though. There's no way.
It can't happen.
No. Blurry Line, Sasha Banks was a brat. Mercedes Moné is a bully capable of bringing the fight, not just navigating the fight. Well said again, Blurry. Well said. Yep. Tino asking a great question here. Are Mercedes and Willow the Hangman and Swerve of the women's division? That's an interesting question.
Inextricably linked for all time.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have the potential to be that. If this continues at the way that it has continued, I actually think that's a good call.
Michael Allen Lewis adds, Ospreay and Omega are doing dialogue. It's very good dialogue, whereas Mercedes and Willow's promos come off more natural. I know what you mean. And like, it's just, I mean, to me, it's like, I think they're both just doing fantastic work. I can totally see why somebody would want the Willow and Mercedes match to headline. And I thought the segment last night was just awesome. Just awesome.
Fire from the get-go. It didn't build up. It started that way.
Yeah, right. Like it started like, I fucking hate you.
Yes, it gave the perception that, they had been sitting in the back waiting for this segment. Like steaming about it. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Damn it. I can't wait for this shit. You know, and as soon as they got on camera, they started. And I have loved, this is why for all of the Thekla fans, I love her, why this had to happen, because it closes years of work that Mercedes and Willow have done to get here.
There is way more story to Mercedes and Willow than there would have been to Thekla and Mercedes. They would have had to start from zero. Now, I have noticed that Mercedes' new favorite insult sounds a little familiar to somebody else that we've heard who recently stopped showing up. She's calling people dumb bitches quite a lot. And I'm starting to feel like that might attract.
Sure did last night.
That might attract some attention.
Every time.
Yeah.
He has a poisonous way of saying it.
Yes. Benny the Bear, Mercedes' lip quiver when she was talking was a great touch. Yes. This feud has delivered some all-time stuff. Her acting classes have really paid off. Mercedes is one of the greatest performers I've ever seen. She's just amazing in every way. Every way. Kevin Knight almost murdered Darby Allin with pyrotechnics. Yeah. That was exciting. I thought he was.
I didn't see that coming. I
didn't see it coming. I also, you got to admit, I know you're not a huge fan of him being a heel, okay, but it was good heel work for him to be like, prove to me you don't have a weapon. And Darby's like, I don't have a weapon. And he's like,
great. It was great.
Then he's like, come on down here. And then he has the whole fucking stage rigged to explode on Darby. Come on. That was great.
It could have been just a malfunction.
It could have just been an accident.
It had been the most perfectly timed accident of all time. However, I did enjoy, yes, I'm not a fan of him being a heel, or at least being in the Don Callis family, but Kevin killed it last night, and I just hope Darby's okay, because I know that dude took that risk knowing what would happen, and he really got burned, for real. So,
fucking Darby.
God bless you, Darby.
He probably wanted to rehearse it like extra. And they're like, dude, we can't burn you any more than this before the show. Like, it's got to happen after the show. It's probably why he had to come out in the jacket. Tino says, Thekla, she didn't stop showing up. She's handling business in Japan. I know. I'm speaking from like the average casual
You
AEW fan's perspective, but yes, I know. Yeti Malone, Mercedes knows Baby Yoda, and that is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Blurry Line 7, Darby does this kind of thing to himself for fun, though. Tino Ibarra, the stadium looked like a Ziggy Marley concert after that. Yeah, totally. And they did a lot of fog for Kenny, too, and that did not go away for that entire trios match. That was an awesome entrance, though. Blurry Line 7, Kevin used pyro to hurt Darby? How you know? Yeah. Oh, yeah, good callback. That's true. To Andrade with the little detonator in his hand when it blew up on Kevin. And
I forgot about that.
That's good. Good shout. Good shout. Holy shit. And then Darby's being carted out, and who should show up but Baby Sting? Steve Borden Jr. showed up. Kevin Knight was messing with him a little bit. I'm like, as long as he doesn't replace Darby in their match, I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it as long as he's just there. I don't know who the heck he is. I ain't seen you wrestle yet once. I hadn't heard about you on the indies. I tried to stay plugged in. I knew he had a son. Mm-hmm. But I hope that this guy doesn't start getting TV time just because he's Sting's son.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to. But I mean, he's wrestled in a shitload of dark matches for AEW before Dynamite and stuff. But I saw him wrestle back in April. And he's actually pretty good. Mm. But I hope that they at least give him some kind of fresh feel to him. Somebody had brought up, what if he turns on Darby and helps Kevin win?
I don't like it. I don't like it. Either Kevin wins or Darby wins, and they do it on their own.
Yeah.
This is going to be that type of fight.
Or Kevin wrestles Steve before All In and destroys him, and that's Darby's motivation, to come back and have this crazy match, that they're going to have.
I don't know. I think getting your face burned by pyrotechnics is enough of a reason to want to have a fall count anywhere match. Anybody.
What are you talking about?
Does Darby really need any more reasons to want to fight? God dang.
That's funny. That's hilarious. Yeah. So we need to come up with some names for Steve Borden Jr. What's his gimmick?
Borden Jr.
Oh, come on.
That's his name.
Okay.
He ain't earned no moniker. We ain't got to come up with nothing.
I'm being accused of Fed booking. Come on. Come on. I feel like getting exploded is enough.
Yes. I feel like getting exploded is enough motivation. My man does not need to get piled on.
Blurry Line says, I better see videos of him being Steve Borden Jr. setting up an entire section of chairs if he's going to be on TV. He ain't no Avery Styles. Not you, what you commented on the Fed boogie. Look, I have bad ideas sometimes, okay? I fully recognize. You hurt my surrogate dad's bio kit and exploded my face or whatever. Now you're going to pay, says Blurry Line. I think so. Baby Sting, Sting Jr., El Hijo Del Sting, Sting Segundo, Kid Sting is kind of funny. Zap was one that I thought of. Borden turning heel on Darby. Yeah, that's the Fed booking. Yeah, yes. Zap. I was just trying to think of something that's one syllable. That's kind of got a little. I can tell Antoine loves this idea. All right, so. That is pretty much what happened on the show. All In is going to be an awesome show. Death Before Dishonor is going to be happening tomorrow as we tape this, probably today as you listen to this, or maybe it already happened. Real quick, we got the 6-man tag team champions, Dalton Castle and the Outrunners versus the Lethal Twist. Antoine, who's your pick?
I'm picking the Lethal Twist. I think Dog Castle and the Outrunners have been absolutely fantastic as champions. I like being.
They just don't need the belts.
They just don't need the belts. I liked they're consistently here in Jacksonville, So we always get to see him, and dude never takes the goddamn belt off. I really can't believe he does not do that. I'd like to know in the back.
Why don't the refs make him take it off?
He's literally, you're kind of being a heel, dude. Like, you kind of are. But I mean,
really he's gone so far as to put it back on when it's fallen off during a match.
Dude. And I really like Dalton, but I think it's time for the lethal twist. I think it's Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal has never been 6-man champion. It's the only title he's never held. Mm-hmm. And the lethal twist have been getting a lot of pub. So I think they should win.
I agree with you. I think they're going to win. We got a bunch of people with name recommendations. Holy shit. Yeti Malone, Little Stinger. Benny the Bear says Pinch. Pinch would be good. Pinch isn't bad.
Pinch is better than Zap. That's the Zap is the line of demarcation right now. You have to be better than Zap.
Player Line 7 says Gordon. Oh yes, the real name of the musician Sting. Very good. Snip is another one. Always Never says that is so 80s. I love it. Zap it is. We've got a little family disagreement here, Antoine.
Oh, I know. Zap, really? Let's think about this. Does it have to be related to Sting? Why can't he make his own way with his own nickname? Kind of like Braun Breaker.
Okay.
Does he have to be a junior? Does he have to be a Stinger or a little Stinger? Pressure. Like, I can't, like, Ric Flair, God rest his soul, Ric Flair. Mm-hmm. Ric Flair Jr. So there is the other side to that. So that's what I think about.
What if his name was like Scar Evans Fingers? That's totally different. Scar Evans Fingers
is completely different. Yep. Except I expect you to have scars.
Yeah. No, totally. And real ones too, like Sabu. Tino Ibarra said, can't wait for Tony to yell, "It's Steve!" Baby Sting B. Bex the Destroyer's in the chat. What's up, girl? Homie. Benny the Bear Stung. Yeti Malone. Steve, burning sensation when I pee Borden Jr. Yeah.
That was unnecessary.
Bex, it's B, said it, Tony Schiavone. Yeah, so I think you're right about Lethal Twist. I think they'll do it. Mikey Ruckus can make a theme that sounds like Computer Love by Zap.
Yes, he can.
ROH Women's Pure Champion Deonna Purrazzo defends against Steph DeLender.
I'm actually excited about this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think Deonna's going to win. But I'm excited at the prospect of them maybe picking up Steph, too.
Yes, that's my main thing. And I posted about it not too long ago. Just TNA, you're just stupid. I don't understand you. To let her go. And
yeah, she's great.
I love seeing Deonna in person. Is one of the most over Ring of Honor wrestlers there is. Like, her entrance, the way she carries herself, the people love and respect and admire a woman with that much class. And for her to finally have a program instead of the open challenge that everybody does, an actual program is pretty awesome. Yeah, I still think she goes over, but an actual program we finally get one for the pure.
Well, I think Deonna's really into being the pure champion. Like, I think she's really enjoying maximizing those stipulations, and she's the perfect person to be that champion.
Yes, she is, and she's the perfect person to train everybody who wants to be in that realm and fight in that realm. She's the perfect challenger, period. Yeah.
Always Never says, finally getting Steph DeLander. So excited. Blurry Line says, TNA, you're stupid. The most evergreen wrestling quote of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Benny the Bear, Steph DeLander, and Mance gonna hit the pay window in ROH. Yes. All right. We got Lee Moriarty defending against Nigel McGuinness, reportedly to be changed to possibly Shibata. If they want to put the pure title back on Shibata, I'm down. At this point, I think Lee's kind of beaten like everybody, you know. He's probably beaten Shibata before.
I believe that he actually has.
Yeah.
And Lee doesn't gain anything from this, but I believe that if he ain't wrestling, if Nigel's not wrestling, they're not taking that belt off of Lee.
Probably not. Blair Line just makes a really good point. Imagine if it's just Ilya who replaces Nigel. Legally speaking, it could
loses.
Be. Yeah.
He loses. Sorry.
I love Lee, man. He's so good. ROH World Television Champion Lio Rush defends against Action Andretti in a fight without honor. Lio Rush is one of my very favorite on-screen personalities.
Period.
Love him.
I just love that character. He turned it 3-dimensional.
It's just a great character. Every time he's on, I smile. I get so happy. It improves my mood dramatically every time I see him.
Mm-hmm.
I just love him. I love Lio Rush. Like he's fantastic.
He absolutely is. I was always worried about whether or not his gimmick would translate past TV.
Yeah.
You know, because it was kind of different. It was kind of weird seeing it live at first, but he's done such a great job and it's reached so many wrestlers. And I love, like, I always recommend to limit your social media. However, Shotzi Blackheart and Lio Rush and their account and what they've been doing together is absolutely off the chain. And I would look that up.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Amazing videos, amazing pictures.
So fun.
It's amazing. So it shows how much people really love his gimmick, and there is no damn way he loses.
No, I don't think he's losing. I do like Action Andretti at this level. I think this is a good time for him to be going after.
I don't feel he's like just some dude named Action Andretti anymore.
Right.
I got a sense of who Action Andretti is.
Anytime you find the right place for somebody on the card, even if it's not very high up the card, they instantly are like more fun to watch when they feel like they're slotted correctly. And he's been fun to watch in this stuff with Leo. So
yeah, I agree with you because he's kind of been aimless.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, very aimless.
But since Leo left, he's kind of been just here, there, and everywhere. Now we've got a pure direction and a place where you truly belong and can grow from. And
I saw somebody say the funny thing about Leo is that he thinks he's in some like under some spell of enchantment or something, and nobody else does. They just think he's weird. And I think it's a mixture of both. Like some people are genuinely freaked out by him. Like remember when he wrestled Pac on Dynamite, and Pac
that dude looked genuinely freaked out.
Yeah, Pac and Daniel Garcia looked legitimately terrified of him, and I was in the crowd. It was so awesome. Like when Leo he was kind of fucking around talking to himself in the corner, and Pac came over and touched him, and he didn't react. And then he touched him again, and Leo just all of a sudden sprung to his feet
with that quick, and then came over to him. He was like, "Hold up."
Yeah, just the movement alone scared all of us. It scared everybody. It was like, ah, it was a jump scare. It was crazy. Yeah, I fucking love Leo Rush. I love what's going on.
I love that his gimmick. That the one thing that I love is not only did the gimmick get over, but the one thing that I was worried about was his wrestling going to suffer, because he's one of my favorite wrestlers or heavyweight wrestlers in the world, period. And it hasn't suffered.
No, not at all.
No.
If anything, he's embellished it with really interesting, cool shit. to.
He's made some innovative ways to pull off some of the moves while, being in that character, and it's been kind of a joy to see. Like, he's kind of evolving.
Mm-hmm. Blurry line, Death Riders did an amazing job of treating Leo like someone who they want to fight but genuinely unnerves them. Yeah. Tino, we got to get Shotzi somehow. TK throw a bunch of money at MLW to make it happen, even if it's just a few guest spots. Agreed. I think Shotzi would be really interesting in ROH, honestly.
I kind of like her, to be honest. I kind of like her in
MLW.
MLW. I think she has found a niche where she is.
I just don't want to have to see Matt Riddle or Austin Aries.
I know. I fast forward.
I know. It's fair. I saw Austin in CMLL recently, and I was like, God damn it. Always Never, so many different versions of Blackheart. This is the character perfected. Rides the line between horror and comedy. Totally. I love his entrance. It's all so well done. All of it.
Yeah,
Leo's
very well done.
Leo's kind of a weird, he's like a producer of a wrestling character. Like he's a very interesting guy. Always Never. Andretti has a real personality now, and I love it. Blurry line, Action's real name is Tyler, and he is the Tyleriest Tyler who ever Tylered. That is very true.
Hey, Tyler's moving up in the world, though.
Yeah. Always Never. Shotzi is doing so well. Her and Dijak, love it for them. Ew, Matt Riddle and Austin Aries, gross. Yes, agreed, Bex. Agreed.
Yes, we all agree, Bexy.
Yeah. Leo is Blurry line says Leo's the jockey from Left 4 Dead to a T. Tino Ibarra says Leo is the Evil Dead 2 of spooky wrestling gimmicks. Nice. Okay. So wrapping this up.
Evil Dead reference any time of the day.
Yeah. Agreed. We got Athena defending the women's world championship against Hazuki. This could be the match of the night.
This could be, and for me, it's my match of the night. Hazuki, she's not okay. To make sure everybody knows, she's not signed with AEW. She is on loan because of the relationship, and I appreciate that even more because it shows how strong that relationship actually is.
Yep.
That I watched Stardom, and she's been gone, and nobody's mentioned her because everybody knows where she is, and they have fought before for the New Japan Strong title, and Hazuki has beaten her. And I would recommend trying to find those matches. I think Athena wins here, but Hazuki, the American Joshi, is facing a real Joshi, and they are going to tear the house down.
Bex the Destroyer says it's definitely her match of the night. Tino Ibarra, Athena is going to win, but if Hazuki snuck out a win, wouldn't be mad.
Nope.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad either, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I would jump up and down if Hazuki won, but we all know that is not happening. It is my match of the night. It's going to be the most fun, but we know. I
think ROH is held back by so many of the titles being kind of landlocked almost, where there's like, who's going to take these belts? Like, who's going to beat Athena? Hopefully in this next match, we see a title change. I'm actually genuinely hopeful. It's Bandito defending the men's world title against Nick Wayne. I'm going to tell you this right now. Nick Wayne is ready. Okay? Like, he's as ready as anybody else.
I don't think he is. I said it. There, I said it.
I think he is.
We are on the opposite sides on this one.
That's okay. That's all right.
I don't think he's ready. This is why Athena versus Suzuki is my match of the night, because I don't think there is any way on God's green earth that Nick Wayne wins this match. I think Nick Wayne is going to show the heck out, because I've become a fan of his. His Best of Super Junior work, he has truly leveled up. He's on Dynamite regularly. He's on TV regularly. I don't think he's out of his depth here, but I don't think there's a shot, because they have so much invested in Bandito, and watching the special Tuesday episode, all they did was talk about how long Bandito's held that title and how much longer he has to go.
I know.
To get to Samoa Joe. So I'm like, no, they're not changing it. It seems like what they're going for is a new standard.
I think the best thing for that title would be for Bandito to drop it.
Yes.
Because
I agree.
That title is in limbo right now. It's really not being made to feel valuable. And I don't really give a shit how long you hold a title. I give a shit how many times you defend a title. I give a shit how many times you actually make, a great match for that title, like Bandito was doing last year with Takeshita and with Hechicero and with,
Yes. And
he seems busier in AEW than he is in Ring of Honor. And I want him to just focus full time on AEW because I think
at this point
he gets put in these positions where he's like, hey, you're going to wrestle Jon Moxley on a pay-per-view. That's cool, right? But you're going to lose. You're going to wrestle Andrade on a pay-per-view, but you're going to lose. And I think him being the ROH champion, one, that doesn't make that belt look very good.
Nope.
And two, I think that's one of the reasons he loses these matches is because he's in between things.
Yeah.
And I would much rather just see him fully focused in AEW.
I would much rather. We 100% align. If you're going to go into AEW and be on all these pay-per-views, please do us a favor.
Yeah.
And go do it full time because, the old adage of if you put half of your everything into something, you're going to get back exactly what is you deserve. And I know you're a wrestler who you're probably a little more tired of seeing is Moxley. For me, it's Bandito. And it's not because I don't like Bandito. It's because I live here in Jacksonville and I've been to all these shows and dude never shows up. But Athena's there.
Mm-hmm.
Every time. I know who I can count on. And you're not doing a service to your sister promotion or to the fans who come to these shows hoping to see them. Open.
Yeah.
So pick one. Dudes, pick one.
Tony Khan, his booking of the ROH men's champions has baffled me for a long time. Mark Briscoe was never on the show either.
Neither was Eddie. Neither
was Eddie. Yeah. And Claudia was only occasionally on the show.
Yeah, occasionally.
It's just baffling to me. I don't know what Tony thinks he's accomplishing.
That's why when anybody talks about Athena, I go, no, she shows up.
Yeah. Well, and Athena's she is very much ROH. There's no questioning that. So I think Nick getting a shock win could actually be, and Jericho, I think he showed up one time on an ROH show and he didn't wrestle. It was just a promo.
Yeah, it was a promo. I remember. I agree with you. I am in total agreement that a shock Nick Wayne win would be the best thing. I just don't think it's happening.
It may not, but I'm holding out hope. For one, I'm a big Nick Wayne fan. This guy has legit beaten Swerve on the indies. He's beaten a lot of big name people. I mean, people believe in him a lot. The way he's come back to television after being in Japan, I'm like, this guy's got the charisma. He's put some muscle on. He doesn't look like a skinny little guy anymore.
I can't tell you enough for those who didn't watch or were not able to. I'm just a lucky person. And the reaction and the fan reaction and the growth that this young man made in Japan was immeasurable. He's earned their respect. So I think he's deserving enough to earn our respect. It's not happening.
Well, we'll see. By the time people listen to this, it's probably the show will either be ready to happen or it will have happened. So you'll see if we were right or wrong, which one of us was right. But Antoine, dude, this has been so much fun.
Yes, it has.
We've gone 2.5 hours, man. 2.5 hours.
Have we really?
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, wow. I don't mind.
I don't give a shit.
I know. It is all right.
Benny the Bear, all the flips. Yeah, title run should be how many times did you make feel? I think you are probably talking about defenses. Listen, everybody. It has been a blast. Thank you, everybody who's joined us. Make sure that you review, sit down, shut up, mark out on whatever podcast platform you listen to us on. Make sure you follow us on whatever podcast platform you listen to. Tell a friend, tell your neighbor, tell your grandma. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the little bell dingy wingy so you get notified each and every time we go live. And make sure you follow Jobber Underground on social media. It's at Jobber Underground. Our website is launching next week. That's right. Next week. So until then, I'm Blade Daily.
And I'm Antoine Raphael.
Pro wrestling forever.
For life.